Ik ben uitgenodigd door Mark om een interview te doen over mijn werk als coach. Maar dat is op zijn YouTube-kanaal. Dus we gaan het in het Engels doen.
And on my YouTube channel, everything is in English.
Everything is in English.
All right.
We gaan het doen.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. I think this whole process of development is ongoing. The roots is more going back to the base because it's that inner power where you are lost from.
Okay, this time I'm having a conversation with Stephanie, and Stephanie is my coach. We've also been working together. And the reason that I'd like to introduce Stephanie is because I think she has a unique way of coaching, and to some people and also to myself in the beginning of our sessions, it sounded or it felt a bit floaty, but that's not the case at all. The result is there. And how it all started is we've known each other for a longer time, but 2.5 years ago I had a crisis. My body was doing strange things. I had a strange feeling on my left side, and I really didn't know where to go. And Stephanie came on my path, and so we've been going on now for 2.5 years. So maybe first, Stephanie, would you like to tell in short what you do, your coaching, how that works?
Yeah, sure. I think in short, it's mostly about creating a safe space where people can be heard and seen for who they are and with everything that they've got. Even their darkest places are welcome as their light, and that they can be themselves, that you can be yourself, and that everything is welcome. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, so that there's space for you to go to deeper layers, to investigate who you are, in essence. Yeah.
Right. And so talking about the energy sessions, energie sessies, as we call it in Dutch.
Yeah.
And how that works, because when I leave your sessions, especially in the beginning, it's like, wow, this, I feel like cured, or at least for some time, and so what's happening there exactly, and to make that a bit more tangible. Can you explain how that works, what you do?
Well, it's one of the methods that I use, or tools, whatever you want to call it, to go from thinking to feeling. That's the most important part, because you can talk a lot about things, and people all want to know everything. They want to understand what's going on, and I think that's a very important part in it as well, because your mind is also part of the mind, body, soul. It's all one and connected, at least. But where you want to transform is on the level of the heart, and that's all about feeling. That's something that we always try to, especially if it's concerning pain or sadness or anger, maybe. We don't want to feel that. We try to avoid going there, and we have all these mechanisms and survival and sabotage things inside us who are trying to, and that's all from the mind. That's trying to not go to feeling.
I can say something about our recent session, and what you need to know then is I've had a rough childhood, My father beat up my mother, during several years, and this was a very traumatic experience for me when I was just 5 years old, and it went on for years. And what I felt there, and that's actually the feeling that I'm connecting to, that we connected to actually in the session that we had, is feeling powerless, because as a 5-year-old I could not stand up against my father, of course, and what happens, and that's why it's important. I mean, just discussing it and saying, okay, that was the past, fine. Why it's important is because it comes back in my life now, and not on a daily basis, but there are cases when, well, for instance, in our family, when I see something happening where somebody is hurt or threatened, and so the children can be fighting, then what happens to me is this: I submit to aggression, and that's of course something that I don't like to feel, that feeling, but something, there's a feeling that happens before that, and that is the feeling of being powerless and not being able or not knowing how to act, and that's actually what we did in that session. And so the moments that we went back to, really the subtle moments that I felt powerless, because I felt that, I can take that back to my everyday life, and as soon as that feeling pops up again, I can think, okay, because then I bring it back to the thinking, okay, I should act differently now. Maybe I should just let that feeling be there and know that it's a feeling that belongs to the past and not to this moment where I would then be overreacting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that helped me a lot, and there are many more examples in our session. Yeah.
Yeah, because the trauma for you was feeling powerless and not being able to do something.
Yeah.
You want to maybe save your mother or tell your father what he shouldn't do, and help in the situation, to be meaningful. And so every time that there's a conflict or anything that's similar to that, this old feeling pops up.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is to clear actually what is old, and you take that into the present, where you can feel what is actually the case, what's actually happening to you. And if you understand that, and if you because you have felt it, then you can have a future. So and we all have to do it here in the daily life. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's important to go to the past, because there it's unfelt.
Yeah.
But you do that because you want to live a life that's free of that, the thing that you carry with you.
Yeah, the burden.
The
really.
burden.
burden.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a beautiful thing that happened, because you also could feel how strong the mind was and how strong your surviving mechanism were operating at that point.
Yeah. So Stephanie, what type of people, or maybe what type of problems come to you from people? What are their questions, or what are their challenges?
Yeah, it can be different themes where they come with. You have some have physical problems, others have had a burnout and are sort of scared because they don't want to get it again. Some suffer from a loss of a person in their lives. That is what you also told just now. It can be anything, but the most important thing is that there's urgency. You need to feel that something needs to happen now.
Yeah.
And because then you are able to have a successful coaching.
Yeah.
Because important is to ask the question, to ask for help. There's you need courage actually to receive help, because that's even more important. People want to do everything by themselves, and you must be willing to do the work yourself. Are you okay to go to the deepest part in you, the darkest parts of you, to let that come out, to show yourself? Actually, that's also more nice to, if we have it about we talk about show yourself. In your case, that's what's pretty literally.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and so it's really cleaning up these kind of barriers, or coming out of the dark, really. And also what you're saying is, you have to really feel this urgency. And what I also experienced is, and I had that intention, I think, from the very first start, is that I like to be in control, but I realized that I have to let go and really let you help me to be able to be helped, actually.
Because in the beginning you actually, what you really want is to be saved, fix me, and I'm free of all that negativity or the weight that's on your shoulders. And
that's because that's how it works. And when I came to you, I said it before, but my left side was aching. There was like a very uncomfortable feeling. I think the same symptoms as you're thinking, okay, there's something going on with my heart. It felt like I couldn't drive the car anymore or ride the bike. So I went to all the doctors, which you should do probably in a case like that. Nothing is actually wrong with me, with my physical body, and so it was somewhere else. And now, even though the feeling comes back once in a while, I know, okay, it's there. It can be there. I know a bit where it comes from. And I also can look at it with some compassion and accept the feeling as it is.
Because it wants to tell you something. You know that now.
No, exactly. And I think because of the sessions we had, it cleared up, and the tension cleared up there. Because some traumas were confronted or dealt with, so to speak. And also what you said about going from the dark to the light, and so that is what I'm doing now through my videos. Wow, there's
applause.
Applause, And so that's my urge of being on stage perhaps, or sharing my story, and in this case sharing your story. And so that's also the journey that's continuing, and there also I'm very well supported, I think, by you. Although I really have the urge to go on stage and to share my stories, I also am a bit scared, and so there are barriers and thoughts and feelings. And so can you tell a bit more about that as well?
Because the program that I work individually with people is called Roots and Wings, and the roots is more going back to the basic, to your roots, from where did the problem start. You think that you know where it started, but that's not really the case. I've experienced that with my clients, because it goes beyond the knowing. Along the way you get more clearance, it feels more light, but still there are some imprints stuck in the mind. But by taking steps in what you actually want to do in your life, there's more space to think about that and to act on that. But on that same road, what you say you want to go on stage, there are some things passing by that tries to take you back again, because it's more safe if you're not in the spotlight, if you are small. That's old programs that are inside of you, and it's nice that because of you taking steps, you can work on those imprints, and you can you can change them, and also it brings you again back to feeling. So you get different layers. I think this whole process of development is ongoing. There's no end to it. The thing that will change is the quicker you find yourself again. So in the beginning it's the roots that you work with, and then you work on the wings where you can fly with, and reach out maybe to others, people that are willing to help others, like you are doing with those videos. It's not maybe your intention, it's sharing, but you also help a lot of people, and that's also what you get back from people, because it's out in the open, it gives connection. You connect in a certain way.
No, exactly. So that's my mission, and so the reason also, I don't know whether I mentioned it before already. So the reason that I wanted to speak to you and to share your thoughts with a larger audience is because, well, I've been very much helped by you. I think your method is unique. And I think there are a lot more people that deserve help like you can deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And that already happens a few times where people ask me, how are you being helped? And that's always a difficult thing, right? Asking for help. I also struggle with that. I think everyone struggles with that. You always think, okay, I can solve this myself. I meditate a lot, and I'm a coach myself.
And you can, you can do it yourself. I mean, I believe in the human potential for greatness. It's in you. It's not there. It's here. You all have it. You've all got it. Because it's that inner power where you are lost from, and you want to
exactly.
feel that drive again. That fire, where you always talk about the fire.
Exactly. So people that wanted to get to know you better, or that are interested maybe in your coaching, I'll leave a comment under the video.
Thank you.
And people can reach out to you.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you for the opportunity, Mark, to show myself.
Okay, well, that was it. Thanks, and see you next week.